In the moment when all seems unfair, fear is the crutch that holds you high. When crawling is all you can do, fear will make you run. So don't be afraid of it, but embrace it. For no matter what happens next, in your heart you will know that you are not just a mere mortal ready to accept the fate, but a live soul that is the embodiment of all that is life. And living sometimes means surviving, not the other way round. Hello everyone, this is the Holy Hermit, and welcome to the second part of my video. We are playing Tomb Raider, my friend Nicholas and I, and now we're moving into dungeon. Nicholas, so we're finally moving into dungeons, the thing we like the most in this Tomb Raider series. So what do you think about this bit? We do see some creepy aspects of it. We see all these weird signs on the wall, the way the flora and the fauna is growing in this part of the world. What do you think about it?
Very creepy place, yeah. It's a mixture, isn't it, between a real building and a sort of tomb. I love the way that the door closed on us. That's sort of typical Tomb Raider. We like burning things. Lots of things to burn. Seems to be very popular in this one, but not as tomby. Still going for sort of basic things like collecting things or just looking for things and pressing the button that it tells you on the screen.
Yeah, I know what you mean, right? So right now we're looking at a little puzzle at the moment on the screen, or you'll see in a second or so. The puzzle is basically you scrolling around left and right trying to find a clue, whereas in the other games, finding an artifact was quite a hard thing to do. In most cases you would actually miss it out completely, but nonetheless, at least it's sticking to its roots. It's trying to add a bit more mythological side to the game, a little story on its own. So right now we're in the game, in the dungeon part, and we'll move on further. So in the beginning, the first video, we showed you almost an entire footage of the game, from start to the end of the 15 minutes. Now we're going to try and show you the more interesting bits of the game. So the whole idea was to cover almost all the aspects we can see, so we can give you a fair analysis of the game for the first hour or so. So now we're moving through this dungeon, almost finished at the moment. It's still looking creepy, but as Nicholas said, it's still all about finding items here and there. It's not about using brain at the moment, it's just finding the right kind of tool to open the next kind of building. So yeah, the thing we've seen right now, as you see us carrying a bow. What did you think of the hunting section, Nicholas? You have to feed yourself, I guess, so survival is still the big theme of the game. So what did you think about the hunting aspect? Is it any useful, any good?
Not the best at hunting. I think that it's just pretty standard. I just think that there's nothing to shout about. I like the idea about when we looked at the artifact, the mask. It was a bit of LA Noire. You had to sort of move the mask around until the controller vibrated, which I think was quite good. The music playing was a great little touch. I thought this is really creeping me out now. I mean, it is a good story. I'm enjoying this story more than 30 minutes I played in other games. So interesting though, I did mention about the controller. There is a different game dynamic because we're using it with the Xbox controller, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Normal controllers you would use would be on your Xbox or your PlayStation. We're playing a PC game right now and we're using a controller. So the company's done a good job. On a little side note, that is, we can use a controller and the game moves in a fluid motion. And the cutscenes, of course, we'll mention it again now before we move further. We're taking them out just for the story's sake. We don't want to ruin anything. We want to keep the surprise if you guys want to play it and all. We're just showing you the first few minutes of the gameplay. So here we are. We've talked about the bow aspect, I guess. Hunting is a big part, as in you're surviving. It is also your stealth weapons. If you want to take out things silently, this is your to-go weapon. So again, it's going to the survival feeling. The first tool man ever made, I guess, was a bow, apart from the normal hunting knives and other things like that. So yes, you build a bow, and Lara, being Lara, the smart girl that she is, she can use almost anything to her disposal. So we do have a bit where we get trapped in the bear trap, and now Lara's trying to survive. So what did you think about this moment then, Nicholas? We are trying to survive against these wolf packs.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a good moment in the game. I think that it's a slightly unrealistic that you've been in one of those clamps and not break your ankle, but
oh well, yeah.
But you know, we have artistic license. Lara Croft, you know, is an amazing woman. It slows down a bit with too much, I think, for when the bears or whatever the wolves are jumping at us. But it's a good part. I think it's a fun part of the game. Would you say you played this bit, didn't you? Did you enjoy this bit?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, again, we just came out of a tomb and it didn't put us into another think what you're going to do next kind of scenario. We're almost an action-oriented bit, but in the Tomb Raider way. So we're shooting our way through these wolves. And yeah, it's a healthy mix of tomb cutscenes, and then, well, these fighting bits. So now you see us going into this dungeon. This moment right here required you to do something, get a certain part for this crank over here. And all we got was a bit of pickaxe. I think that's what we went
Yeah, it was a bit tedious, this bit. It was just a sort of standard pick up 5 objects of 5. I can't even remember what it was. There wasn't any, much difficulty thinking about how we're going to do this. I do like it again, though. You go through this door. There's a bit of archaeological. There's a bit of a puzzle. The door shuts behind, so we know we can't go back, and I think that's a good. It's slightly unrealistic, but I think it's good for the game because you can't go back. You're sort of going deeper into these tombs, and I think Lara looks great. I think the graphics here are top drawer.
Yeah, the player animations, the way these characters move, the way Lara interacts with the environment.
Yeah, the hair as well.
Yeah, and the hair as well. If you all follow games, you know how the way polygons are designed. You just see hairs are the hardest part to design. A gaming programmer will tell you. So as the technology is moving forward, the game actually looks stunning. So it's not just a game that they tried to make in just a hurry. They worked on it. They did a good job, and in the end, it turned out to be a good game. So yeah, the character movement is fluid as always, and now we move on to the slightly sneaky bit of the game, the survival again. So the first hour, and I believe it suits the game as well, right? Because she's trying to survive right now. She's not the battle-hardened Lara we knew, as I said earlier. She's just a young kid who's trying to survive, where everyone is out there to get her, and all she can do is, well, hide, run away. But she is Lara Croft at the end of the day, so she can use anything and everything to her advantage. So right now we see her surviving from these people. No idea who these are, right, Nicholas?
No, I don't know why they're attacking her. I don't know why they don't seem to be monsters. They seem to be human presence. It was interesting what you were saying. Lara has to survive. She doesn't have the sort of typical Lara Croft instincts as of yet. But in the cutscenes, we do see Lara wanting to sort of go beyond what other people have done, and the archaeologists want to just follow what people have already said, but she wants to go somewhere new. So there is this streak inside her, but there's nothing, there's not this aggressive streak, and certainly not this sort of get out there and solve the puzzles yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Lara is a person who's just developing into this great personality that we see later on. She likes to do things in her own way, in her own style, and here, even as a kid, she has the same personality that she's going to grow into later on. And even as now, she's trying to sneak away. She's trying to use her brain over her brawn, so to speak. She's not a hulking character like God of War or something. She's just a simple lady. Well, simple in Lara Croft way at the moment, that is. She still is more stronger than you and I combined, I guess, the things she can pull off. But here we see her surviving, and you have these quick time events every now and then popping in the game, just to keep you on your toes, really. So it depends on the kind of person you are, if you prefer this in the game or not. It is there at the moment. And, well, we're enjoying it in our own way, aren't we? So you see Lara Croft interacting with just this gentleman over here. No idea who he is again. These people are present on the island, and they again have their own agenda, and they have something to do with Lara Croft. Maybe they want something out of her for ransom, or it could be something more Tomb Raider-like, something to do with a secret, right? So what do you think about the secret so far? Something with a Japanese mythology, right? So do you think we're going to see some kind of godly presence that we do see in some old games, or is it going to be something new age stuff? What do you think?
Well, I've got no idea. I really don't know. I mean, there's been hints both ways. I can see it being more of a realistic game. I mean, in the sense that there won't be sort of superheroes, just because of what we've seen and sort of it going down to the roots of who Lara is. It's interesting though as well to think, is Lara Croft going to be this superhero? Would she have achieved everything that she would have achieved if it hadn't been for this moment? Or was it part of her? And it was just she needed to be brought out of her, or did she not have it in her, and then this just changed her into the woman she was?
Yeah, so we keep on saying this again and again. So it's all about her personality then. The game is focusing on Lara. The game's not focusing on environments right now, neither on the puzzle. It's about the way she's growing step by step. She's the girl who landed on a pile of bones, injured herself, picked herself up, dusted herself off, and she's moving forward now. She started off with hunting animals, getting food supplies, and now she is trying to survive, and she just killed her first enemy, her first person who tried to kill her.
Yeah, I think there's a really good cinematic bit when she does kill the first person. You can really feel, the significance of that. It's obviously she hasn't done anything like that before. And then she's just like, well, I've just got to get on with it now. I've got no other choice. I can't just stand here. And then she goes and, blows up about another 10 people before the next bit, right?
Exactly. So there is a progression here right now, which is a lot it's a lot better than we can say about any other games we've played so far. Normally you just have this one big hero who can take care of everything and anything, but in this case Lara progression is the whole story. She gets hurt all the time, she's still mortal, and she is not perfect at the moment, but she is pushing through all these injuries, all these circumstances she's been put into. Survival is her key, and there's Lara at the moment right now. So about the enemies as well, the AI, the way they behave, what do you think about it, Nicky? I mean, Lara can of course outmatch them all, but how easy is the gameplay? What do you think about it? How are the enemies interacting and so forth? Is it looking realistic?
Realistic, not so much, because we slowed down again. I think it would have been better if it was just normal difficulty. You can change the difficulty as well, can't you? You can make
Absolutely.
it easy, medium, and hard. I personally go for games that are more difficult because there's more of a challenge. I think it's a little too easy just to dispatch them, so you lose the power of the achievement of actually doing so. Which again, you know, we've waited 30 minutes or so for the first kill, and then she just sort of kills the next few with, you know, so easily that you lose the power of that.
Absolutely, and even the way she's progressing in the game right now, she's quick-witted and everything. She gets trapped into a building, into a situation, and she has to think quickly. The environment is very dynamic in this game. There's fire all around you, and it's going to spread at one point or the other. So you have to move, and you have to move fast. You do get guns in the game, you also end up shooting people, but that's not what Lara's after right now. It's all about stealth as well, because that's kind of the part of Tomb Raider. It's not Splinter Cell again, where it's all focused on these stealth kills, but she does rely on this kind of sneaky behavior, almost outsmarting her enemies. And what do you think about this instinct mode, so to speak, when you can press a button, left bumper that is, and the whole screen starts glowing? I think it's a nice way to bring the new players into it, but I don't think that this game kind of needed this kind of effect. You'd be better off without it.
I don't like it. I've played, I can't remember what was the last game. Was it The Prince of Amalur or... no, The Witcher. The Witcher.
The Witcher.
Yeah, The Witcher, where you press the button and it just everything highlights, you know, items you want to pick up. For me, it's supposed to be a sort of a cinematic game, a realistic game. It's not supposed to be something that just hands you everything on a plate. So I'm not sure. That's what I said. I mean, the kills after the first kill are too quick for me. It loses the power of the first kill. You know, it's almost as if like in 2 minutes she's just converted herself into this killing machine, and I think it's not as quick as that. But maybe it's because our dear friend the Holy Hermit is dispatching them with consummate ease.
That's not the case really. It's just that the game is slightly easy at the moment. I mean, so that's what we're talking about again and again. We hope the game focuses only on stealth later on, and tomb raiding, that is. So if there's a lot of shooting in the game, then we don't see ourselves playing the game again and again. But if it sticks to the Tomb Raider principle, then we'll be glad to play it over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, there's better games for shooting, simple as. And Tomb Raider is about this. For me, it's about the tombs, and it's about the story. And the story, as we're watching this again, I'm getting more into it, and I want to keep playing. I don't know whether you guys will at home, but I actually into it. I want to keep playing.
Exactly, and that's the final bit of our whole video, really. Does this game want you to come back? Does it have the same feeling, the same effect that you had the first time you played Tomb Raider? So I think our answer would be yes, right? It's a great game. We're enjoying it at the moment, and would like to play it again and again, I guess. So what do you think, Nicky? Final thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I've got high hopes for the story. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, it might be a letdown, but normally when the game starts well, it normally gets better and better.
Yeah.
And most games that you play, well, most games that I play, sort of start badly and you kind of get into them just retrospectively, whereas this one started well, so I've got high hopes.
Alright, well that's a word from us, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been the Holy Hermit and my friend Nicholas. We're signing out, and we'll be posting a review of this game later on. Give us your thoughts about it. Other than that, I hope you all have a nice day ahead. Thanks ever so much for listening. We're out now. Bye.